Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV here on DCRTV.com. Look at it. Look at it. It's gray. It's raining. It's dark. It's damp. The 26th. It's the 26th of January. I wish it was June. 26th of January. No, it's the 16th. Excuse me. It's the 16th of January. 16th of January, 2013. How y'all doing, everybody? Wait a minute. I got to listen to this.
High 45 tonight, overcast, slight chance of showers 39. Then tomorrow things get a little dicey. Rain showers early, changing to mixed rain and snow as the day progresses.
See, now that's Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson. I'm waiting for him to shill stuff. I love it when they sell. The reason I listen to WMAL in the mornings is because they sell things. I love to hear all the things they sell. You know, diet plans and home security systems and medical scans and gutters. But that's why I listen to MAL in the mornings. Anyhow, who trolls the internet and then writes stuff up the next day for his newspaper? Why, it's Paul Farhi. Paul Farhi. You know, I think, you know, I really like it if Paul Farhi actually broke some news. You know, Paul Farhi actually went out. Okay, he does occasionally. You know, the big scandal there with Jerry Edwards doing his you know, traffic reports from Florida on WMAL. I mean, they would break. You know, I think that's probably the big scandal story that shook the Washington radio world that Paul Farhi broke in 2012. So what does Paul Farhi do? He trolls the internet. Ooh, and then he sees stuff that's written up there. Ooh, and Mediaite, and ooh, and Romanesco, and ooh, and Pointer, and ooh, all over the place. And then he sits down and he writes up a story and he makes a phone call. And maybe at least have an obligatory quote in there. And then he writes it up for the next day's paper. And so there we have, I'm waiting to hear the news today. Here's Paul Farhi yesterday. Prize flap, you know, CBS and CNET, where CBS told CNET not to review not to do anything about the Hopper DVR because CBS doesn't like it. I mean, okay, you know, he trolled the internet. A whole bunch of websites broke the story yesterday, and then Farhi writes up his little story, you know, the next day. And then you look at today's paper, today's wonderful style section. And what do we have in style section here? Another Paul Farhi piece, Sneaking Past the Gates of Journalism by Paul Farhi, about how the Atlantic yesterday on Monday ran an advertorial from Scientology. And of course on Tuesday that was all over the internet. It was all over. Everybody was reporting, you know, that the Atlantic made a fool of itself by, you know, running this big thing that was basically an advertorial. And what is Paul? And even Eric Wemple, at the WashingtonPost.com was all over the story. And then what does Paul Farhi do? He sits down and makes a phone call or two, trolling the internet, and then he writes up a piece for the next day. So if anybody was on the web, this is old news. By the time it gets in the paper the next day, it's old news. But that's what Farhi does. He trolls the internet. Now, you know, he's not trolling DCR TV too much lately. Just forget Dave. I don't even mess with him. But he is trolling the internet, as Paul likes to do. And then he, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that, technically. You can't go to, you know, but is this the mark of a quality journalist? If Washington Post is paying Farhi money, shouldn't he break some stories? You know, like, you know, the Jerry Edwards thing that rocked the radio world back a couple weeks ago. I don't know, man. You know, that big story he broke back another couple weeks ago with what is it? The National Weather Service is naming storms now. You know, there's a snowstorm that comes down from you know, the Canada. They're going to call it you know, Storm Larry or Storm Brian or Storm Chris. Oh, here he is. Here he is pitching stuff.
With an APR of 3.4% on a 30-year loan. Now, you may ask yourself, it's a fair question.
How Paul Farhi broke that story, and it was already, it was stuff that was 3 or 4 months old. I mean, come on. Washington Post, you need a media reporter who's going to break news. Break it! Not just report what everybody reported the day before. But that's the Washington Post, paying more for less. That's their new slogan.
With an APR of 3.34%.
Hey, if Brian Wilson, says it's,
discount points apply.
I'm gonna, whatever Brian Wilson shills, I'm buying.
Numbers 11712 and MLS Consumer Access Total.
Instead of
Oh,
going to
okay.
work,
Wow.
would you rather enjoy your soft, comfy warm bed and fluffy pillow?
Tommy McFly. Some big news for Tommy McFly. He's been appointed head of CBS's DC radio cluster, taking over for Steve Swenson. No, not quite. Tommy will be will be doing some inaugural hosting this weekend during the big beginning of the second term of Barack Obama, which they're all in mourning for over there at WMAL. Tommy's gonna be doing the President's National Day of Service. He's gonna be the MC for that. It's gonna be on the Mall on Saturday as part of inaugural weekend activities. As you may recall, Tommy was the MC of the White House Easter egg roll for the past 2 years, and actually hosted the pre-show for the National Christmas Tree Lighting in 2012. So there. So that's cool. WIAD, fresh. I don't know why they have those call letters. I do not know why. And of course, Steve Harvey signs a new deal. He is syndicated by Premiere, which is owned by Clear Channel. He signs a new deal to be continuing his morning radio show, which does get great ratings here in Washington on WHUR, Howard University's 96.3 FM. So there. Good for him. Okay, folks. That's the big news for today, the 16th of January, 2012. 13. I told you, if you watched Dave TV yesterday, I told you I ordered camo pants from somebody on eBay from Oregon. And this was like a week ago, and they went from Oregon to Washington in one day. So by last Wednesday, they were in Washington State, and they sat there at Washington State for a full week. And now they finally got shipped to Capitol Heights. So maybe my pants will come in the mail today or tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that because, hey, I don't have any pants to wear anymore. We're down to these. All right, folks. That's Dave TV. Thanks for watching. Live long and prosper.